Right, so I'm at a very interesting and exciting location right now. We're in Seoul, Hongdae exactly, Hongdae in Seoul, and we're. I was walking around here before and taking lots of pictures and videos because here right now is soon, just down the street, is one of the filming locations, one of the sets, one of the exterior sets of my favorite Korean show of all time, my favorite Korean drama. Might just be my favorite show of all time, and I'll get into why, but yeah, this is quite exciting. It's always surreal coming to a film or TV show location, filming location, because you only get that 2D flat perspective on screen, but when you're here in person, you get the smell, you get the feel of what it was like to walk around, to actually walk around in that space. You get a six-dimensional view of the space. And I am approaching the building, and the name of this show is called, in English, it's called Hello My Twenties. Initially, its English translation title was Age of Youth, but when Netflix released it on their platform, I believe it was retitled Hello My Twenties. That's it. And in Korean, it's called 청춘시대. 청춘시대. 청춘 is youth, 시대 is age. Hence why it was titled Age of Youth in English. The show is a comedy, romance, coming of age, and if I put it simply, if I simplify the show, it's about a group of housemates, a group of girls, five girls, 6 in total. There's 2 seasons. There's one girl in season 1 that leaves the house, and then there's a new girl that comes and joins the 4 in the second season. But this is their house in the show, and in the show it's called Belle Epoque, French name. So this show is about a group of housemates in their youth at university, overcoming. It's a slice of life story. I forgot to say that before. So it tackles the everyday problems of youth, but not just everyday problems, but also the emotions and burdens that come with trauma, because this show doesn't back away from exploring heavy topics. Some of the few heavy topics it touches on are domestic abuse, dating abuse, parenthood, sex workers, and they're just a few that I can name off the top of my head. But each character, they're characterized so well, and throughout watching the show, there's 12 episodes in the first season and 14 in the second, I believe, so 26 episodes in total. And throughout the 26 episodes, you get a feel of because this house is featured so prominently, you get a sense that you're actually living with them. You are one of the housemates as well. Let's walk around this way. But yeah, these streets would have been where all the actors, the crew, the director would have walked. But this is not the house. The building is the one across this one. And the interior of the house was actually a set. This show was produced by JTBC, one of the networks in Korea, TV networks in Korea. And what is it? We came here before 11. It's 10:35 on a Monday. I wanted to come here when it was quiet, when it'd be the most quiet, so I could do this, take lots of pictures without any interruptions. Another reason why I think filmmaking and the power of cinema, the power of motion picture is, I know when it's really at its strongest when I'm relating to characters that are very different to me. Look, it's a show featuring, there are male characters as well, of course, who are in the show throughout every episode, but it's about a show mainly about a group of 5 university girls, and of course I'm not a girl myself, and I think when characters are at its strongest, ooh, nearly got hit by that car. Car did a good job at dodging me. That was a nice car. I would have normally honked, but it didn't. But stand in the shade for a bit. What was I saying? But yeah, when I'm relating to characters that are different to me, females, old people, babies, animals, Planet of the Apes comes to mind, Caesar. When I'm relating to characters that are so different to me, Simba, Mufasa, Scar, that's when I know the emotions and the topics in the show, the themes are strong, because I'm relating to others not through appearances but through emotions, and that's great. That's what I think strong films are all about. And this show does that every single episode with nearly every single character, which is why I love this show. Hello My Twenties. Check it out on Netflix. You won't regret it. Those there's like parts where some of the guys are working out on that grass, small garden area over there. But at the moment it's being used for fast food down here, for burgers. Up there's a burger joint and there's a cafe at the top, I believe. Have I mentioned everything? Anyway, this street down here would have been featured a lot as well. The group of housemates would be walking up and down here all the time. It's very hot today. It's gonna go up to 30 degrees. It's not even 30, and I'm already sweating my back between my bag and t-shirt. Feels quite soggy. There was another beautiful house here, actually, going off topic for a second, which I think is a studio. Common, unique showroom. 3rd floor is a studio, 2nd floor is an office, 1st floor is a showroom. But this 7-Eleven is in the background in some of the shots in the show. I've run through the show, I've watched it through both seasons twice in full, and then other than that I've just picked scenes out on YouTube, watched clips here and there, rewatched a few of my favorite episodes. And Korean shows tend to sometimes be too romanticized, but this show doesn't. Of course, there are aspects that are a bit more out there, but overall, tonally, I think it's because of that slice of life element. It feels very personal and real, down to earth, and that's because the characters just feel like they could be your friends, and I wish these characters were my friends in real life. This show, right, it is also hilarious. So if you're looking for a laugh, this will make you smile. Every episode. And I forgot to mention before, throughout the countless films and TV shows I've watched, I've only cried once while watching a film, and I've only cried once while watching a TV show, and that TV show was this Korean drama, Hello My Twenties, Age of Youth. And you might be a bit older, you might have passed your youth, and you might be thinking, am I too old for this? But look, the first person that I told this show about was my mom, and she binged it as well. and she loved it. And then my sister binged it, and my family loved it. So they were here before, taking pictures, taking it all in with me. Oh, actually, and I remember this street, right? They have in the show they have bins out there, and that's where the characters would come out and throw out the trash. Let me put you down for a second. Whew. It was very hot. But here, I've been carrying one of the script. There's 2 complete scripts of season 1 and 2 complete scripts of season 2. So I've been carrying this one around. I've just been reading through it. That's how much I love this show. And the writing. Also, there are so many strong hitters in terms of dialogue and its writing. The housemates. But anyway, this was just I thought I'd show you this because this is what a Korean format for a screenplay looks like. A bit different to the American, Australian formatting. Hopefully that gives you an image of a visual representation of what this show feels like. Alright, let's do one more walk around and let's wrap this up. I am gonna go in there anyway to get some food, and also just was the they did actually use that window at the top when they were looking down. How I discovered this show, I discovered it when I was listening to Spotify, my Discover Weekly, and there was this one song that I really loved by Temperature of Shanghai called In the Middle of Love. And I like that song, so, and let me bring it up. And the cover photo on that song on Spotify was the show, because that song was produced for this show, which is a unique trait for Korean dramas, because a lot of original songs, a lot of covers are done for Korean dramas and used for one of their their purposes for to be featured on the original soundtrack for that show. But it was this, and because I loved the song and I was listening to it on repeat, and because that says 청춘시대, Age of Youth, I listened to this song so many times, and this image and this show just intrigued me. This song's also sung by Son Woo-jung, who's one of my favorite Korean artists. But anyway, that's how I discovered the show. That's just some backstory behind how I found this show, which I thought was very worth telling, because one art led to another, music to TV, and I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, the soundtrack by this is quite perfect, pristine. 소규모 Acacia Band, 소규모 Acacia Band. They have a few songs in season 1 and season 2's soundtracks, and they're nice. But anyway, one last thing. In this show, there's a character called Song. Her full name is Song Ji-won, and she is hilarious. She is the best comedic character I've actually seen in any kind of film format. That's a very high that's a very big comment to make, but yeah, look, I find Charlie Chaplin funny, and you should check him out as well. But Song Ji-won, her character is one of my favorite characters, and the actress who plays her, Eun-bin, she's such raw talent as well. She's probably my favorite Korean actress, my favorite actress in the world, and she has so much range, so she brings so much depth to this character. She's been an actress since she was little, and I personally find her changing her voice for each different character she plays the most intriguing, most refreshing, because I listen to myself and I only hear myself all the time, but when she's in an interview, when she's just in an interview as herself outside of character, she has a normal voice, but when she goes into character, she just changes it up so much. So with Song, who's such a comedic character, she plays with tone and a lot to taking this video, connecting it back to the baseball vlogs I filmed. I recommended a film and a TV show in one of those vlogs, and that baseball show also features Park Eun-bin. That one's called Hot Stove League. This one came out, Hot Stove League came out after 1 or 2 years after Age of Youth. And she's also in that show, so she's in a lot of shows that I love. I personally think her best character is Song Ji-won, because she has such a blast, but also her backstory, her tragic backstory in this show is surprising, but the show doesn't back off on its heavier topics, so it explores abuse in schools, and what that can do to people. Her character, for her character, and for her surrounding characters in the show, and that's just gut wrenching. But yeah. So I recommend this show. If I could recommend one Korean show to you, it'd be this one. I have so many compliments, so many good things, so many stories from it that I can keep sharing. But we'll leave it here for today. So from Hongdae, from the set of 청춘시대, Hello My Twenties, Age of Youth. See you next time. Thank you for watching. I think it's time for a coffee.